Welcome to WeLearn, Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 7 on types of counseling, and this is session number 7 of life skills. Let's see what are the topics covered. Tools for the counselor, types of counseling, workshops and techniques of counseling. Let's see what are the important skills or tools for the counselor. The first and foremost tool is empathy, leading, that is the leader, responding, self-disclosure, immediacy, humor, confrontation. Empathy is to imagine yourself into the other person's shoes, means to feel what the other person is feeling, to get involved, emotionally involved into what the other person is saying. Leading is to lead, to manage or to control. Responding is to respond verbally or non-verbally. Self-disclosure, when one person is disclosing his or her problems, then to listen. Immediacy, humor and confrontation. Let's see what are they. Types of counseling. Individuals work with one counselor and either one client, a couple of some members of a family. So, a group work where a counselor leads or facilitates the group. In individual work, only one counselor and one client is there, or couple of family members are there of the client. In a group work, counselor leads. There is a group and the counselor leads or facilitates the group. So there is a group of people and the counselor is the person leading the group. Self-help groups where there is no leader, members attend on an equal basis for mutual support. There is no leader or the person who is controlling the group, but members on an equal basis, on a regular basis, attend, meet for support, for mutual support. Let's see what are support groups. A group called a support group may have a counselor as a leader or facilitator, or it may be a self-help group without a leader. Support group can either have a counselor as a leader or their mentor, but it can either have without a leader. It can not have a leader. Only a self-help group would be there where the members of a group meet to discuss and to share. Some self-help groups follow the 12-step program developed by Alcoholics Anonymous. The 12-step programs, let's see what are they. Workshops. A workshop is a peer assessment activity with a huge array of options. It allows participants to assess each other's projects as well as exemplar projects in a number of ways. So workshops it is an open forum where people get to discuss, people get to share their views, their ideas and learn from each other's views and ideas as well as opinions. It also coordinates the collection and distribution of these assessments in a variety of ways. So it also coordinates how the assessments are done, how the assessments are collected as well as distributed. Let's see how the workshops exist. Academic instruction for a small group which employs techniques such as role-playing, simulations, encounters, give and take sessions and problem-solving laboratories. In workshops, certain activities are organized such as role-playing, games, simulation, give and take sessions as well as problem-solving activities are organized so that people are able to think out of the box and apply something creative. The design workshops develop plans with input from the members for the site design, common house design and unit designs. So these are known as design workshops which work on various kinds of designs. That can be a site design, a house design, a design for a particular product or etc. So what are the techniques of counseling? First and foremost is to get the environment right. Get the setting right. Create a space to talk. So a space should be proper to talk and to converse. A proper seating should be there, which should be comfortable. Appropriate heating and ventilation should be there. private and a quiet environment without noise, which helps the other person's message to get across. So when the counselor is sitting, he or she is able to listen, and the client should also be able to listen what the counselor is saying. Getting the listening right, one has to be attentive. One has to listen properly what the other person is saying so that the message is not lost in between. Show with your body language that you are listening. So you have to show that you are listening and you are interested in what the other person is saying. And also do not interrupt what the person is saying. Look and sound calm, unhurried and caring. So these are the qualities which a counselor should have. The counselor should look and sound peaceful as well as calm, unhurried as well as caring as well as interested. Asking the right questions. One should not disturb the client with probing or with asking too many questions, but to ask the right questions. Try to ask more open-ended questions than closed questions. Open-ended questions which requires elaborate explanation and answers rather than yes and no answers. Being affirming. Show respect by taking an accepting attitude. Try to limit the direct advice. Do not directly advise or do not pinpoint the mistake or do not pinpoint that a person has done a mistake here or there, but show respect by supporting or by having an accepting attitude of the other person. How to make it work? Do not turn your conversation into an interrogation. It should not sound like you are interrogating or you're probing or you're asking too many questions from the other person. Also, one has to make sure that you recognize when you're getting out of your depth. So one has to see that one should not get too much into depth and one should recognize one's limits. One should also take time out to reflect with a colleague or supervisor about the interaction. If certain things are unclear, then one should also take time out and discuss the matters with a colleague or a supervisor and see to it that what solution or what kind of solution can be taken out for a certain problem. Because clients come for relief and clients come to solve their problems to the counselor. So the counselor has to make sure that whatever problems the client says, he or she listens attentively and patiently and then works out a solution for the client. Because the client trusts the other person, that is why he or she has turned up or he or she turns up to the counselor. Here are some of the tasks you have to do it yourself. First question, what are the different types of counseling and what are workshops? Thank you. Happy learning, we learning.